What are we in training to? Well, what you're in training to is the release of particular neurochemicals, in this case, acetylcholine and dopamine, that allow your brain to focus for particular periods of time, 90 minutes or so. And after about 90 minutes or so, the amount of those chemicals that can be released tends to drop very low, which is why your ability to focus becomes diminished. I always get the question, how do you know when the 90-minute cycle begins? In other words, let's say you wake up at 8 a.m., and you just finished a 90-minute sleep cycle. Does that mean that your next 90-minute cycle where you could do work begins right at 8:01? No. The interesting thing about these basic rest activity cycles, these ultradian rhythms, is that you can initiate them whenever you want. You can set a clock and decide, okay, now the focus begins. Now the work begins. And this 90-minute cycle is the period in which I'm going to do work. What you can't negotiate, however, is that at about 100 minutes or 120 minutes, no matter who you are going to see a diminishment in performance. You're not going to focus as well. And that's, again, because of the way that these 90-minute cycles are linked to the ability of the neurons that release acetylcholine and dopamine, and to some extent norepinephrine, the things that give us narrow focus, motivation, and drive. The way that these 90-minute cycles are involved in those circuits. After about 90 minutes, those circuits are far less willing to engage, and therefore it's much harder to continue to focus to a high degree.